Welcome back to Refrain Chord. And since I didn't show it in the last part, here it is, the full-blown CG without any obstructions. There you go.
Again, even if it's different artists from the Advent Dark Force, they did a good job replicating the style.
No. The style, it's the replication of Tsunako's style. That in itself, it's fine. I just think this designer's new original designs are not as good.
Mm-hmm. You talk about the proportions of the characters compared to one another?
Not just that. You know, look at a character like. This is actually something that I want to comment on. So go ahead.
Ugh, on a rampage again, are you?
Kill.
You dare question me, child of man?
Typical way of God refers to a human in anime.
It is I, Master of Darkness, the very apostle of the underworld, whose magic flute stirs darkness itself and calls down Valhalla.
Kill.
Go, we're doing a beat, Libs.
No, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I just had a lot on my mind.
Oh, normal, Karin.
Ethel, wake up.
Ethel, let me ask you a question. What's your impression?
Yeah, the game is about to get very meta on us. Just click this up. Impression? Well...
See? You can't think of anything right away. That's the problem.
You only gave me a second.
As a character, I'm weak, basic, boring, mediocre, and ordinary.
Nah, Karin, you're actually one of the better characters. Come on now.
Like, I don't think... Hold on.
Why don't we slap a traditional shrine maiden outfit on her or something? Give her a pair of animal ears and call it a day.
What is this self-deprecation? Jeez.
Like, and the thing is, if they're trying to be meta,
like if you want to have that, talk about Harley for fuck's sake.
Yeah, like no, this honestly would be fitting more to Harley.
I'm sure that's what they said in the meeting.
Like again, Karin actually has character to her. Harley is the one who's arguably down to like one character trait and a particularly bad one at that.
Well, to be fair, she's talking about specifically the visual design, I suppose, but still, I don't think her argument has water under it.
Sorry. Forget I said it, but still, I want some kind of special characteristic.
You're a Shrine Maiden Fox girl. I think that's unique enough.
Well, the thing is, yes, she has the outfit of a Shrine Maiden, but she's not a Shrine Maiden. That's the thing. Yes.
No, she's more made by the I keep forgetting her name, Yukiona.
I think what they're trying to get at is that yes, like she has a Shrine Maiden thing, but they don't actually have her do any Shrine Maiden things. You know, it's kind of like the same problem I have with Ollie, where she's supposedly a researcher, but we never see her do any quote-unquote research. You know what I mean?
Okay, to be fair, I just called it a Shrine Maiden outfit. Like, even if it is a Shrine Maiden outfit, wearing one does not mean you're automatically a Shrine Maiden.
Not to mention, fairies' appearance, are not connected to their profession. When it comes to humans, yes, but fairies are a bit more tricky.
Is that why you were talking like that earlier?
Yeah, I was trying to cast off my mediocrity.
Okay, Ryder. Okay, Mr. Ryder. Here's a pro tip. If you think, go ahead, read that.
I thought that if I could out-edgelord you, Ethel, that would be an easy way to boost my character.
Okay, Mr. Ryder. Let me tell you this much: you are no another day. So shut up. Go on.
Please, Ethel. The only word you say is kill. You could hardly be more dark and unapproachable if you tried.
They're trying to be
how about if she kills everyone she meets?
They're trying to be Twelly's Another Day, but they don't have the chops for that.
It's not even that, Pedro. Like I said, I think it's completely using the wrong characters for this kind of message. This reeks to me that whoever this new writer is, knew about the first game, but they decided, you know what? My interpretation said that this character is bland as a result. So here's my joke critique of that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna agree. I don't think they're trying to be a new day. They're trying to do some meta humor, which, let's be honest, a new day doesn't own, per se.
Oh, sure.
But I agree with you. But it's like I said from the get-go. The main problem is that Karin's the wrong character to do this with. Karin did have a character, and she actually has served I'd say enough of a good role that she does not feel like the bland and mediocre one. And look, my personal dislike of Pippin aside, I have to agree with Tio. Harley would have been the key one for this because she really, she has a role, barely does it, and serves to do the other bad role. Like, if
Vowels
anything,
critiques her every 5 seconds anyway. Would have been the perfect conduit to mention.
Keep in mind, I never said that Another Day has the monopoly on meta humor. The problem is that they're trying to do a similar kind of humor here, but this writer doesn't really have the chops to pull that off. That's what I mean.
Neptunia also does these every 5 minutes usually.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. This is from Compile Heart, the makers of Neptunia. Say what you will about Neptunia, but that is a series that gets meta humor. Like, it's literally console wars if it were anime girls. Like,
also, Keiji Inafune is a submarine.
I've played for the entirety of OG PS3 game, and as well as now I'm playing for Mark II. Again, my main problem with Neptunia is that their idea of quote-unquote doing meta humor is, hey look, here's an Akira Toriyama reference, hey look, Sonic exists. Like, they just put a video game reference in it, but they don't seem to make much of a joke about it. They just point out that this thing exists. That's my problem. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about Neptunia. Did I just hear a pitter-patter?
Here to join me for a spot of tea? I've got a special cup with your name on it.
So now she's trying to see if Fleur can help her boost her character or something, but whatever.
You spelt it flower, not fleur.
Yes, I like that very much. Okay. I guess Fleur likes that. A dashing, dapper, romantic leading lady. That might be a good character after all. Heh. So, I'll say this. Mr. Writer, if you for some reason think that Karin is a bad character, here's a question. Why didn't you, do something more with her throughout this game? Just saying.
I really don't want to resort
Wait,
to...
there are other people in the
There are, Teo, but we can't afford to animate them or even draw them, so just pretend that they're there.
Okay, I get that, but this is begs even more the question, why didn't they kept the innkeeper character? Like, because otherwise in the rest of the game it gave the impression that it was just essentially an inn that they occupied as a base of operation.
I'm pretty sure they did mention her, they just haven't shown her. Because isn't the innkeeper also related to Tiara as well?
Yeah, allegedly.
I'm surprised that Marianna doesn't have a problem with Fang sniffing her perfume. Usually in anime, if when a protagonist starts to do that, they have the usual pervert joke. You see a lot in anime.
To be fair, perfume is meant to be smelled, seeing as how, people usually put that on for a reason.
There you go. Some women wouldn't appreciate being told that,
Yes, quote-unquote considered.
Oh, I remember that scene of GoldenEye where she said something close, where Monty Penny said something close to that.
Checkmate.
Oh no. You being excited is a good reason to be worried.
Excuse me. Don't worry, we're actually going to have a CG to illustrate this, believe it or not.
Thank you. Oh my god, you're actually doing research.
My question is, why are you presenting that to Fang?
Yeah, why? Since when do you share your research books with Fang?
Okay, not in a sense that, we shouldn't do it, but I'm pretty sure there are better characters in the party to do it with.
More mindless bladder. That's how I feel about most of the skits in this game. Go on. Go on.
Yeah, it's as I figured. It's because he and Aaron are a duo, so she probably wants to share them tips.
Yes. Oh, let me guess, Marianna actually has to, move herself a bit over and Fang is squeezed between them boobies.
Surprisingly, no.
Close enough, I suppose.
It's more so the heads that are squeezing his face.
I guess.
Also, Fang's facial expression.
It's a combination of embarrassment and arousal, Dweebs. I know it because it's very typical.
そうだろうそうだろうお前らよくこのぎゅうぎゅうな状況で普通に話し続けられんな全は急げ早速実験だ
That's why she was excited.
Okay then. Oh, okay, we're continuing.
Wait, did you leave Arlie alone with Clara and Aaron? Are you an idiot?
Oh,
That absolutely should not raise red flags in any way, kind of whatsoever.
Oh, don't you see, guys? She's just gonna get those two fairies on her own.
it's your birthday.
And she's
I'll-
just
Beep,
and she's,
beep, beep.
and she's just running late is all. I'm sure she's not doing
That's like
anything heinous.
that's like asking a wolf to guard a sheep from predators. I just
Let
like
me put it this way, Pedro. I think there's a better joke from a YouTuber that I can quote from this. It's like the equivalent of having to leave your child with a Hollywood producer. None of them is a good idea, but one is worse than the others.
But Pedro, didn't Zootopia tell you not to assume the worst of a predator?
yeah, that is true.
Just by their history.
In
So
Zoot-
maybe we
in
can
Zo- in
trust
the-
the wolf with that sheep.
In the case of Zootopia, where the animals have evolved and became, then yeah, that would be an idea. But if last I checked, there are no anthropomorphic animals in this world. So
Well, I mean,
Technically,
depends on how you-
whatever species Pippin is supposed to be.
but don't you see, Tail? As both of these games keep telling us, nobody knows what Pippin is. He could be an animal. He could be what something else. Who knows?
Cute. I mean, I guess technically there is the mouse girl fairy, so
Again, in general, Java fairies can look a bit whatever they want because the game doesn't even elaborate much, but it strongly implies that anyone or anything can become a fairy, and at that point they gain sentience.
So hey, Marianna gets a CG and I guess a nice little cute scene with Fang. That is.
Again,
I'm looking forward-
Are we still ignoring the fact, Bob, that Harley is going to get two fairies on her own?
Yeah, and this kid
Well-
basically lost complete focus, and now it's a discussion about birthdays.
Okay, to
Again,
be
they're just
fair,
passing the time, and I don't mind that. It's just that, we could have had this without Harley. Just saying it.
Yeah.
like, okay, you know what this skit feels like? It feels like the equivalent of a Simpsons or Family Guy episode that pretty much
Yeah.
starts off one way for like the A part of it. Then on the B part, that A part
Oh my
turns out
god,
to just
we would not know what happened to Harley.
So as far as I can tell, Harley probably kidnapped Clara and Aaron and stuffed them into a basement somewhere. So
On the plus side, we don't. On the plus side, we never see her do it, so we could just.
And we have
as
to
well
assume,
that-
and considering, Aaron and Clara show up later, we have to assume nothing bad happened to them, but still, why would you have, that plot point being mentioned? If you want to
It's
mention that, like...
Ibfreet's got another hit.
It fe-
Ibfreet's got an associate hitman thing going on.
yeah, it's like that's the thing too. It feels like the writer started writing a thing involving Harley, Marianna, and Fang, but then in the mid skit he thought, you know what, never mind. He started to instead writing a different skit about Marianna and Fang discussing birthdays.
Also, the beginning of his scene where he mentions water reminds me of a set of scenes in Xenoblade 3 where the characters have to repeat the word water, and because each of them have a different accent, it sounds a completely different word each time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna approach that quest from a different angle. My guess is that Marianna was always the intent since it is her side quest. It's just that the Harley bit was used as a launching point for the two to be out on the night alone, essentially.
What I agree
while
with you on
giving
that,
some flavor text.
what I agree with you on that, Jova, I think the way to send off Harley could have been done more gracefully.
Oh, I agree. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just trying to get the mentality, and that's my best guess. Is like the
And
Harley
if
point
you
was used as the
remember,
launching
these
point.
kids are basically Fang interacting with each member of the party about the situation and, on a personal level, which is like what's happening right now with Ibfreet.
Uh-huh. Again, like, I'll give it credit. I do feel like these skits are where some of the better writing is going. Mind you, that doesn't speak highly of the game itself, but I do appreciate how...
I wouldn't be surprised if these were the first ones, being written ever among all of them, because they knew, placement in the plot, we need to actually pull them.
I agree.
I'm actually curious, Pedro, if you checked, are these specific skits the same in the alternate timeline, or
I've said it before.
Variation?
Yes, they are the same.
Okay, sorry.
Basically, how about this? Here, let me put it this way. I started when I first did the other route. I started. Keep in mind, the game is always the same up until chapter 15, which is where the paths diverge, obviously. So I started watching the skits the same as well. As I realized, oh wait, same skits so far. Eventually, I started skipping them when I started noticing that they were all the same. I watched like 10 skits in a row.
Some of these seem to relate to what's going on.
Basically, what I did is at first, okay, I'm gonna start pressing the square button to fast forward them, so I can still see how they are in a fast motion, and I can still check if they're the same or not. And yeah, they were still the same. And then eventually, I started using the L2 button altogether because, again, they're the same skits. Like after 20 plus skits of being the same, at this point, I'm just going to start assuming that they're all the same. So for all I know, maybe there is like the final skit of the game. Maybe it's different, but at the same time, can you really blame me for starting to get to a point where I start skipping them because I don't really want to watch the same skits again?
Ibfreet is improving.
Good for him. I'm curious, so I'm guessing that means that Albert's portrayal pretty much goes the same in the other route.
Yes. You'll see for yourself, don't worry, because we're going to see the main story still.
Yeah, because
I want to use my money to buy candy.
That was my guessing, because some of these skits are dependent on what was going on in the situation, like Albert's betrayal, so I did wonder, but again, that's what we'll have to see.
Yeah, the plots involving Al still goes the same way. There's some minor variations, but it's still basically the same, so these skits still work.
Fantastic Mr. Fang.
Yeah.
Well,
I wish I was watching that movie now.
That's the stuff that Fang usually says.
Is that now a Disney movie too? Let me check.
If it's a Fox movie, then yes.
You mean the fantastical Mr. Fox?
Fantastic Mr. Fox, yes.
All right, now it's time for Noi. Go ahead, Oops.
I think, is it...
Oh, never mind. It is.
Yeah, it's his voice too.
Okay, never mind.
To answer your question, Joba, it is a Fox. Well, in Pedro, it is a Fox movie, but apparently in my country is not yet on Disney Plus.
That might just be a rights issue, like how it took the UK a shit ton of time before they got Tangle Season 3 on there. It's probably just a rights issue. My guess is maybe the movie had a
like Pedro said, country to country things.
The movie probably had a different distributor in Italy, and that distributor still has the rights to this day, probably. So
anyway, oh please don't tell me when I become that bug.
That cloud looks like a bug.
I mean, I guess.
So now it's time for Fang to teach Noi about freedom. But yeah, I wanted to say something.
Wasn't this? Sorry, go on.
I wanted to say no. Go ahead. If it's really what's going on right now.
Wasn't this concept the stuff that happened in the last ending that we saw of the Advent Dark Force?
I'm not entirely certain.
The thing that Fang and Noi were actually talking about freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, but in here it actually goes somewhere.
Okay, sorry, go on.
Yeah, about Ibfreet, by the way. Yeah, Ibfreet is yet another character that's also my Pippin, where I really don't care about Ibfreet at all. I find his design not particularly great. His fairy is incredibly lame and lazy in its design. And
yet still has more expressions than the awesome-looking robot or dragon.
I guess, but that's not really a high bar to meet.
Well, yeah, because those guys are stationary PNGs.
Well, technically, Sui is also stationary. It's just that they have this.
No. Sui actually does move a few a little bit.
Well, okay.
Has the
By
different
that,
expressions and
sure.
angles that
By that I mean
Q
you.
is technically also not a PNG.
Yeah, it has different sprites. Well, to be fair, just like Suito, there are different sprites for QE when he's sad and normal
Okay,
and happy.
fair enough.
Whereas, like Jova said, Ryushin and Seguro only have one sprite and that's it. No happy sprites, no sad sprites. No. Forget animated. They don't even have different sprites. I mean, Kiwi and Sui are not animated, but at the very least they have different sprites. Ryushin and Seguro don't even have that. They're just one sprite and that's it. Anyway, Fang is talking. All right, let me go to Surfer Town.
Freedom is in free.
たい焼き、団子、ホットドッグ。あっちにはチュロスも売ってるぜ。売っているな。
Those are short churros.
さあ食え。熱い。
Of course, Fang's best way to teach her is about eating.
そうに食べる。
I guess I can at least say the actors sound like they're having a good time.
Oh no, that I can tell. Like remember that thing with the fake acting where we got Ibfreet. Remember, like you can tell that at least the actor playing Fang is at the very least doing the best he can.
Also, as a general rule of thumb, Jova, when it comes to the video game world, voice actors in Japan
Wait,
are kind
scary movie at the movie? There's movie theaters in this world?
What?
The previous background had a carriage. Again,
Okay.
Now we're entering Professor Layton level of bizarre technology in the world.
Fang,
Okay,
wake up.
okay.
Also, what's the equivalent of Star Wars in this world?
Go on.
Star Chaser Legend of Orion. Go on, Jova.
Beautiful. Like, okay, the thing about this world that's confusing is that, again, we have gotten things that do suggest high future technology. Heck, the fact that they acknowledge that Ryushin is a robot means
There are
that
also
they
robot
are
enemies,
aware of
so-
androids. So,
Yeah.
I guess arguably a world that has androids could have movie theaters, and yet this is legit the first time a movie theater has ever been mentioned.
And like
in
I
this
said,
world.
by the same token, again, to be fair, again, Noe also has a gun and everything, but by the same token, we saw in the previous background that there are carriages here, so why not having another vehicle transportation like
It's like-
a car? We had in the first game that thing that we used for the plane that was kind of a unique kind of vehicle thing, so I guess in that kind of sense technology, but again, because there's not much world building, outside of knowing that previously there were civilizations but were more technological, I guess the best way we can guess is that, this is another one of those cases of, previous civilizations super technological, fell to the ground, the new ones, started from scratch, but at the same time, grasped some of the scraps from the previous
I want to, like Teo said before, like there's nothing necessarily wrong with having a world that's anachronistic in a lot of ways. Like Teo said, the Layton world is like that, where they still do the whole old school Sherlock Holmes, old British setting, while still having more advanced technology at the same time. The thing is,
Unfortunate events. As
yeah,
well.
yeah. So it's a thing that is actually common in British fiction anyway. So it kind of works in that manner. But with this, it could have worked here too if they actually had world building to help support it. But they don't because there's so little to know. Go on.
I should mention Series of Unfortunate Events is American.
Well, fine, whatever. The point is, maybe if they had some world building to help support these decisions, maybe that would be better. But they don't. Oh, and basically, might as well talk about something here. Since we still have some time in this part, let's showcase some attacks that my co-commentators requested I showcase. So let's do that. Go on.
Cool. I'll also say I did also like that Noe side.
As a whole, I did not mind in general in these skits about Fang connecting with the rest of the party. Some of them are better than others, but overall it's a net positive.
They went back to the whole flowers thing, where flowers become his new thing. Again, more than what Adventar Force bothered to do with this character. So I'm not complaining. Go on, Jova.
I will say, one thing I do dig, or, at least I wish this game did more, is, again, having these series of side skits that happen after incredibly pivotal moments, but have them be tied to what happened in the game. I think that there have been some other points, but not that many that, it's the most easy thing to remember happening often here. And again, what helps, and I cannot stress enough, is that the writing is not utter crap for these skits. Oh, they're not always the most masterful, but I feel like each skit, at the very least when it comes to the heavy point where Fang is interacting with each member, works. Yes, even the Harley skit managed to work. Like, they managed to have something good come out of a scene with Harley being the major focus of it. That could be considered the equivalent of black magic. But I digress, though. Again, this is why I do feel like, again, I don't know if it would provide us the best game whatsoever, but at the very least, something would say the peaks of writing that we did get from Advent Dark Force, with arguably at least the good side story or character build-up writing that we get in Refrain Chord, could have given us at the very least the best of both worlds, I feel.
Again, I want to wait until the end of the game to say something like that myself.
The thing is, okay, you might notice how I'm doing the free battle, the first ever free battle of the game. This battle, as you can see, is full of super weak monsters that take a shit ton of hits just to even be able to remotely be near kill you. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is your grinding spot from the game. You don't need to fight strong monsters to grind in this game. Just spam attacks / spells as much as you can, as long as you keep at least one monster alive. And remember, that magical square that is always respawning one monster, which means you can always constantly defeat monsters over and over. Basically, you can just sit here and spam attacks all day, and you'll grind your characters tremendously.
Alright, let's see some fairization.
Yeah, and look at Rin's is a reskin of Fang's Pharaoh's animation. So good job, guys.
Hold on, let me see.
Well, at least the first part of it is like the part where the.
No, that Fair Eyes from looks different for the most part.
Oh no! I'm not talking about the Fair Eyes design itself. I'm talking about the animation. Like during the first half of that transformation sequence was a rehash of Fang's, because he froze just like.
I don't remember what was the animation of Sherman's fairization.
It's a bit hard to explain verbally.
Just say that it's different, I'll understand.
It's a bit different in the way it works in the first game. Yeah. Well, remember too, all of the returning characters just reuse the animations from Advent Dark Force.
I was talking about that in the interaction in the first game anyway, because Sherman having a similar item. But,
and once again, similar thing with Ibfreet. In fact, I think Ibfreet actually looks worse there.
Like, wasn't that kind of
always
always
he becomes
the
a
idea?
ninja. Okay.
Sure, why not?
Cool. Wasn't it always the idea that their weapons strike them anyway, like a persona?
Oh no! I know. It is. It's just that look at Harley's, for example. Harley's is different because she shoots some aspects, some bullets, and then the bullets go into her. So there is a difference to how each one is animated, right? Whereas after seeing Fang's Pharaoh's animation so much, I can tell that the first half of Rin's transformation is a reskin of Fang's animation.
And I'm guessing because Al wasn't technically a fairy, Fleur cannot fair eyes.
Obviously, she's a muse, not a fencer.
Which is weird. Like, did we skip the maybe?
Well,
maybe no. Let me get you say, Pedro. Maybe I forgot, and they did mention it, but I don't remember the game mentioning. Oh, by the way, I'm not able to fair eyes properly or something.
Yeah, they did say. Not to mention, remember,
okay.
By this point too, it's been revealed that Fleur never actually needed Al to begin with. In fact, right now, if you look at Fleur's quote-unquote fairy, it's no longer Al, it's microphone, as in her microphone. So she could always sing, and Al was never necessary. Which begs the question.
Recently, with the twist that they did, Harley goes to mention that. Both Noe and Harley goes to mention that it's similar in a process to what Noe's gun is doing. So that I can guess, but they didn't. I didn't remember if they did mention it or not. When Fleur and Al met at the rest of the party.
Oh, that, yeah.
I think they did mention they were unique, relatively unique, but I don't remember the deeds.
not only that, wasn't it implied at least that Al still disappeared into the mic? You know, hence why
No.
people were worried when her mic broke, essentially, since that was supposed to be her fairized form.
No, Al doesn't. Al never disappears into the mic. They never said anything like that. Not to mention that, how would he even do that, considering he's just a human being? He doesn't even have those kinds of magical powers. So,
Well, again, that was part of why I was asking if I could have sworn that they acted like he vanished into it, but if that's not the case, then
all right. See you for the next part, everybody, where we get back to the main story.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.